What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a nice patch day. I know I sure am. And today we're looking at the new Elden Ring 1.05 patch notes. I haven't looked at these yet. I did a little quick scroll through right here just to see what was going on. And looks like there's a lot of bug fixes, so that could be pretty cool, actually. There's a lot of bugs in this game currently. Some that actually affect, player versus player content and the online balancing of the game. So if they fix a lot of those, iron out a lot of bugs, that could be even better or more valuable than just straight up balance changes. If they're not going that route for this patch. It has been a little bit since we've gotten a patch. Looking at it, like I said, it looks like a lot of bug fixes here, but I haven't read it yet. So it has been a while. I'm assuming they're busy with trying to get the Soul servers back up on PC and potentially Elden Ring DLC. So unfortunately, this doesn't look like it's going to feature as many balance changes as I would have liked to see, but that's all right. We're going to read it through and we're going to check it on out. I got it pulled up on Reddit here, on the Elden Ring Reddit. So let's get started. We got major changes included with the latest update. Also, real quick, if you hear my AC in the background, I apologize for that. But it is hot outside, and I'm not turning that thing off because it gets really hot in my room. So you're just going to have to deal with a little bit of background noise. If you don't like that, that's very unfortunate. So we got in transactions with the NPC Twin Maiden Husk. The following bell-bearing items have been changed so that their liberated status will be carried over to New Game Plus Play. I'm assuming liberated status means that you've actually gotten the item, that it's like in the shop. So we've got Bone Peddler's Bell-bearing, Meat Peddler's Bell-bearing, Medicine Peddler's Bell-bearing, Gravity Stone Peddler's Bell-bearing, Smithing Stone Miner's Bell-bearing, Somber Stone Miner's Bell-bearing, Glovewort Picker's Glove. So I'm assuming this is just every bell-bearing. This is pretty sick. I'm assuming this is just once you unlock a bell bearing, it doesn't matter if you go up in New Game Plus cycles, the shop will always sell that, which is so nice because that was always an issue with like Dark Souls 3. You pretty much had to upgrade your weapons before you moved on to the next New Game cycle because you were just going to lose the ability to buy that stuff in the shop. So you kind of felt pressured to upgrade weapons before you went on to the next New Game Plus cycle if you wanted to, be able to play. This doesn't affect PvP all that much, obviously. It's more PvE. Nice quality of life feature. It could affect PvP if you end up going the New Game Plus or higher for whatever reason. It just makes it easier to buy this stuff. But that's super sick. Added emphasis to the choice of the Sacred Flask and several other options that can be strengthened in the Grace menu. Emphasis. What the hell does that mean? Emphasis to the choice of the Sacred Flask. I don't know what that means. I don't think they're talking about that, like, emphasis to the choice of the Sacred Flask and several other options. I think what they mean is, I have seen some things. But I think what they mean is maybe that the option is easier to see in the menu. Okay. I tried to do some looking. I couldn't find what the hell this means, to be honest. I tried to look around. I guess I'll find out in game. I think it's just like they made the menu option like easier to see. I don't know if this actually like means they buffed. Because I think they're talking about the Physic Flask here, right? Like, that's what they're talking about. I'm not stupid, am I? Like, they're talking about the Flask of Wondrous Physic. Let me, like, look up just again on my phone. Just to make sure I'm not, like, stupid. Yeah, I think they're just talking about, like, I think they're mostly just talking about the option to, they made it easier to see this option. I have no idea what the fuck this means. I guess I'll go in the game and I'll see, but yeah, let's move on from that. Added sound effects when the other player's summon signs appear. That's pretty sick. It was always annoying that, like, this game didn't have that, because previous Souls games, like Dark Souls 2, and I think even 3, had it so when a summon sign appeared, there'd actually be a sound effect, so you'd know when it appeared instead of just like having to see it. So it's cool if they added that. Nice quality of life stuff. Yeah, I'm really wondering what the hell this is, but I have no clue. I tried to look, I couldn't find anything, so that's that. Moving on to bug fixes. Fixed a bug where equipment could be changed from the equipment menu during the use of a skill under certain circumstances. What I think this is talking about is the ability to, I've seen a couple of things, like people doing that whole like Melania swap thing where you can like use Melania's the Waterfowl dance and like swap to a different weapon and like just like run through midair. It also might be talking about the fact that people were able to essentially tumble buff their weapons. Like you could apply any buff to any weapon you wanted. So this is a nice fix because I haven't run into that shit in PvP. I've seen like videos of people doing it. I haven't run into anyone personally doing it on me, which I guess is kind of lucky of me. But it looks like it would be supremely ridiculous because I've seen people, like, applying frost with, like, rivers of blood and shit like that. Like, that's just nasty. So, good that they fixed that. Fixed a bug in the Warcry skill where the effect was applied to a weapon that was not the target of the skill. Once again, just consistency across the board of, it seems to be an issue in this game where if you apply a buff to one weapon, it also applies it to the other weapon. So I guess that was working with Warcry, which was kind of whack. That's pretty cool that they fixed that. Fixed a bug where some actions of the Barbaric Roar, Warcry, and Troll's Roar recovery time was longer than expected. So that's kind of neat. That's just like an indirect, not really a buff, but like I guess, I mean it is a buff kind of, because if you're like one of these was bugging out and had a super long end lag, that would be that'd be kind of shitty. So it's cool if they fixed that. I didn't even realize. I haven't really messed around with Warcry too much. I've used Warcry a little bit. Haven't messed around with Barbaric Roar or Trolls Roar all that much. But that seems like that could be a nice thing for people that actually use that kind of stuff. You're no longer going to bug out and just have a random amount of stupid end lag at the end of your Ash of War. Fixed a bug where the effects of the Determination and Royal's Night Resolve skill does not always wear off with certain weapons. I didn't know that was a bug. That there was even like a thing where the Royal's Knight's Resolve and all that shit just like wouldn't wear off. My dogs are barking right now for some reason. I don't know what they're barking at. They're usually barking at something though. But that's crazy that sometimes just wouldn't wear off. That shit is yeah, the Royal Knight's Resolve and Determination is super good. I'd actually like to see it get a little bit of a nerf. It just feels like it's too easy of a damage buff for your weapon. And also the fact that it applies twice, I'm pretty sure, on like dual wield weapons, like the twin weapons and shit. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's kind of ridiculous. Because you can get an insane amount of damage on them. But either way, it feels like it's too much of a straight up damage upgrade for like no cost at all. Either make the FP a little bit higher or like lower the damage buff of it. But either way, it's a cool skill. I just think it's definitely a little bit too strong. But that's crazy that it just sometimes wouldn't run out. So I guess they mean like if you had it on, like the buff wouldn't go away. It always went away if you like hit someone, I'm assuming, but it wouldn't go away if you like just the timer ran out or something. Fixed a bug in which some attacks of the Ice Spear skill are unguardable. That's not a good bug fix, actually. I honestly thought Ice Spear, I thought that was the whole point of it, was that some shit of it was unguardable. Because this was a primary counter. I even mentioned it in my Scythe video just now. This is a primary counter to guard poking and people who were just turtling up, was you just put on Ice Spear and it would deal with it because you could just whip it out point blank. They couldn't block it, and I thought that was the point of it. I'll be honest, it seemed like it was a pretty nice change to it, on hidden change, but I guess it was a bug, and that's not a good bug fix, actually, at least not until they nerf guard poking and the strength of shields, which I think they will nerf eventually, but for right now it looks like shields are going to be a whole lot better. So definitely have a scythe in your back pocket, as I just said in my video about scythes, which I plan to do more work on scythes. I plan to play with them a little bit more. So definitely have one of those in your back pocket, because it looks like shields are going to be a lot better going forward with the fact that you can't just Ice Spear them. There's some other ways to get around guard, luckily, but some of the people that are going to really want to turtle up, it's going to be a real pain in the ass for sure. Fixed a bug that caused the attack power of some skills to be reduced when using the Golden Vows skill. That's really funny. Good they fixed that, because that's not what it's supposed to do, but I didn't even realize that was a thing. So that's really funny. Fixed a bug that the light wave of the Moonlight Greatsword skill sometimes does not aim at the locked on target. It's a nice bug fix for Moonlight Greatsword users and for the Moonlight Greatsword. Sounds like it's kind of annoying if that happens. Fixed a bug that caused damage to allies when using the Seppuku skill under certain circumstances. I'm not sure if I've seen that bug. Are they talking about like if you use Seppuku while wearing like the deathbed dress, the one that like heals your allies slowly? That would be really funny. I think that might be what they're talking about, but I don't think I've seen that bug. But that's good that they fixed that, because that sounds like a really nice way to troll people. Fixed a bug that caused the increase in attack power of the Seppuku skill to be higher than expected for some attack motions. I don't know what they mean by some attack motions, but I do like the sentence here of that they fixed a bug that caused Seppuku to have more attack power than it should have. I am down for anything that deals with Seppuku getting a little bit of a nerf. I haven't run into too many, like I've run into my fair share of Seppuku users. It's not as many as I thought I'd be though. Like I don't know, I'm not running into them like every other duel or invasion. But whenever I do see Seppuku, it's just such a pain in the ass. So I'm literally anything that makes it slightly weaker, even if it's just the fact that it had a bug where it was, being stronger than it should have, is, a win in my book for balancing that shit. So that's a nice bug fix right there. Fixed a bug in which a status effect was applied when using Horalu's Earthshaker skill. Didn't know that was a thing, but good that they fixed that. Fixed a bug where the Waves of Darkness skill would not hit the enemy with a spinning cleave. Spinning cleave. Would not hit the enemy with a spinning... What are they talking about? Like, I've seen Waves of Darkness. I don't know what the spinning cleave is. Because I've never used Waves of Darkness. I've only seen Waves of Darkness and like played against Waves of Darkness. And I've never seen, I know like, okay, so like Earthshaker, right? Earthshaker has like a follow-up attack. Does Waves of Darkness have a follow-up attack that I've just never seen? Or is it actually, was it bugged so that you couldn't do a follow-up attack with Waves of Darkness? Or are they just talking about that there was like some sort of, like bug where it wasn't doing the damage it was supposed to? Either way, I mean, it's an indirect, it's buffing Waves of Darkness to some degree, because there's clearly was a bug where something wasn't working, and Waves of Darkness was worse than it should have been, and Waves of Darkness was pretty good already, so like that's pretty cool. I want to try that out. I want to see what they're talking about. I'm really curious if just no one's ever used the follow-up to Waves of Darkness on me, or if like there was a follow-up to begin with, or if they're just meaning like this whole spinning cleave thing means that there's just like a damage buff or something. Like it wasn't doing the amount of damage it should have been doing. Fixed a bug that caused unintended motions to be played when switching to a different sorceries or incantation while using a sorcery or incantation. Boom! That's a bug fix we're looking for. As funny as I think the quick casting... I think this is talking about quick casting. I hope this is talking about quick casting and I'm not stupid. As funny as the quick casting, bug was, and how much it kind of did make sorceries and incantations a good bit dynamic, some of that shit was straight broken. I mean, the fact you could do, I think, Catch Flame into Theodorax's Magma, and just that shit it would fling it out like in 2 seconds, or like Catch Flame in the Dragon Claw, and you wouldn't see the Dragon Claw. It would just deal like 900 damage in front of you with no visual indicator. That was obviously very broken, and was bugged. There were some, other versions that I've seen people do, like Carrion Retaliation to like Soul Comet or whatever, Comet I think it's called, which is like, it makes it faster. Like, I thought quick casting was cool, but clearly it was a bug, because sometimes it was just like the incorrect animation, and like it would not even show like the VFX. for the spell, which is very unfair. You know, doing a Dragon Claw that you can't see and also not being locked into the Dragon Claw animation, that's just ridiculous. Like, that's just insanely broken. So it's cool that if they're talking about quick casting, I'm gonna test that like immediately, basically, because if they're talking about quick casting, that is it's a nice fix, because obviously that shit was nasty. And there was also that new thing that people discovered with the Crucible Horns, where you could transfer the travel effect of Crucible Horns into another spell, like the dragon spells and stuff. That's kind of ridiculous. I don't know if maybe they're also talking about that, but I hope they are. Fixed a bug that the FP consumption increased when using the Sorcery's Magma Shot and roiling. I think it's a spelling error. I think it's rolling magma, right? Rolling magma while riding a horse. That's neat. Cool bug fix right there for PvE, obviously. Fixed the bug where the Claw Talisman effect was not applied when jumping with the Star Scourge Greatsword in both hands. All right, cool. If you're using the Claw Talisman, and to the two people out there using Claw Talisman and Star Scourge Greatsword, you're eating good. You're eating good today, boys. Fixed a bug that the power of two-handed attacks, except jump attack, of the weapon's Golem Halberd. Wait, what is it saying? Fixed a bug that the power of two-handed attacks, except jump attack, of the weapon Golem's Halberd is different from expected. I'm assuming this is, I'm not sure if it meant that like you did certain attacks with the Golem's Halberd and it was weaker or stronger, but either way, this is either a indirect buff or an indirect nerf to the Golem's Halberd. I haven't used the Golem's Halberd, so I couldn't tell you, and I haven't used it, so I don't know. But I guess if someone wants to inform me and tell me if that has been buffed or nerfed, then that would be nice. Fixed the bug that when using the weapon pulley crossbow with the left hand while the right hand weapon was given an attribute by magic or item, the effect was given to the pulley crossbow as well. Thank God they fixed that, and also I'm glad they fixed that after I've done my like I did like a rune level 65 like PvE run where I had like super low upgraded weapons for like PvP muling purposes and shit. I'm glad they fixed that after I did that, because I grudged on that fucking glitch for some quite a few bosses out there. But I'm glad that glitch was fixed, because you could do that with like you could right hand buff with a Blood Flame Blade and use the pulley crossbow and just apply like non-stop bleed to people, and they would bleed out super fast from range. So that's super nice that they fixed that, because that was super annoying. And I'm sure people were doing it with sleep as well, and sleep is so obnoxious. I think sleep is like hella slept on as a status effect still. I think it's probably like one of the strongest status effects in the entire game, and people aren't talking about it as much as they should be, or talking about how to like adjust it a little bit. But that's a talk for another day. Fixed a bug in which arrows and bolts that did not match the type of long-range weapon could be released in certain procedures. Don't know what that's talking about, but cool, they fixed that. Fixed a bug in which guard boost was reduced when some weapons were strengthened to the maximum. Okay, I guess that's applying to weapons, not necessarily shields. If you're like guarding with a weapon, I think weapons still have guard boost, right? So that's neat. It's good that they fixed that. It's annoying that there's like bugs where if you upgrade a weapon to the maximum, it just like is worse for some reason. So that's good that they fixed that. Fixed a bug in which the attributes of weapons could be changed while the inventory had reached its maximum capacity, and the Ashes of War could not be changed. I have no idea what they're talking about here. Fixed a bug in which the attributes of weapons could be changed while the inventory... I'm assuming they're talking about, like, you could change, like, aspects of a weapon. Maybe this is more talking about, like, being able to tumble buff and shit like that. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about on this one, but, again, cool. They bug fixed that. Any bug fixes... I think the only bad bug fix here was the Icy Spear one. I didn't want to see that get fixed. I didn't even know that was a bug. I'd like that to come back, actually, because now shields have less ways to counter them. But any other bug fix here has been very good. Where did I say? I think we were right here, right? Yes, fixed a bug that caused the boss Melania Goddess of Rot to have low HP under certain circumstances. So they buffed Melania. So if you haven't done Melania yet, you're in for a treat, because now she's just slightly stronger. Because I guess you could have just a chance that she would just have less health. So that was kind of cool. For you, not for her, but now she's back to her full form again, hopefully. Who knows, maybe she's bugged in some other way. Maybe Waterfowl Dance is supposed to do like double damage, and it's not right now. So I'm waiting for that to be a bug fix. But fix the bug that allowed enemies to be attacked from outside the fog in certain areas. I guess removing certain boss cheeses. Fixed a bug in online multiplayer where when a boss is defeated in the host's world as a cooperative player, the same boss may not appear in your world. That's kind of crazy. That if you do a boss in someone else's world, it could just not appear in your world. That's happened to someone out there. I don't know which bosses. Maybe that applies to like the overworld bosses. I can't imagine that applying to like a demigod or something. That would be so insane. Like you literally just get soft locked out of your game because of that shit. That would be so sad if that happened to you. But I'm hoping that's not what it was taught. I'm hoping it just meant like optional overworld bosses and shit. But still, that does suck. Fixed a bug that prevented the battle with the boss God-devouring serpent from progressing under certain circumstances. Haven't ran into that bug, but that's interesting. Fixed a bug that prevented hostile NPCs from appearing under certain circumstances. Don't think I've run into that bug. Yeah, I don't think I've run into that bug either, but again, another nice bug fix for PvE. Fixed the bug that prevented the event of the Alexander Warrior Jar from progressing under certain circumstances. I think I've fully done his quest. I'm pretty sure I've got the Alexander Shard. So I don't think I've encountered this glitch, but that's good. Fix an issue where the item Sacred Flask is not restored after destroying a group of enemies under certain Okay, is it not talking about? Because I'm going back up here now. It says emphasis on the choice of the Sacred Flask. I thought they were talking about the Physic Flask. Added emphasis to the choice of the Sacred Flask and several other options that can be strengthened in the Grace menu. And where was I? Fix an issue where the item Sacred Flask is not restored. Because that's like a healing flask thing. I don't think your Physic Flask comes back, like unless you rest at a site of grace. Like, am I missing something? Like, I'm looking on my phone real quick. Like, it's called the Crimson Flask, right? The one that you heal with. Flask of Crimson Tears. That's what it's called. What is the Sacred Flask? Oh, maybe they are talking about the Physic Flask. Maybe it was like actually supposed to be a feature that your Physic Flask would come back after killing certain like groups of enemies, and it just wasn't. So that's nice if that's the case. I hope it is. It's a nice PvE change for sure. I hope that doesn't ever happen when I'm invading someone, because then they can just use their Physic Flask twice, which would be kind of annoying. But I think the Sacred Flask means Physic Flask. That's what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. Fixed a bug that under certain circumstances, after defeating the boss Star Scourge Radon, the user could not move from the map to the Grace. It's a good bug fix right there. That would be annoying if that happened. If you cannot move from the map to the Grace, you can move to the Grace by touching the Grace. Star Scourge Radon. Okay, they're just clarifying some stuff. Fixed a bug that prevented found sites of Grace from registering on the map under certain circumstances. That's nice. Fixed a bug that prevented some Graces from being able to be touched when approached under certain circumstances. I think this is talking about like how you could like sometimes like the activation spot for the site of Grace would be like displaced from the actual model. That was a really funny glitch, but it's nice that they fixed that. Fixed a bug that allowed hostile guests to enter boss areas. I just saw that at like a Reddit clip of like a dude getting into Renala's second phase as an invader because of this. So that is That's neat that they fixed that. But they should ask. They probably will do this with the DLC. They should add a boss that allows for invasion, like an invasion boss, like they did with 3 and 2, and Demon Souls, obviously. Fixed a bug that prevented a critical hit from behind from hitting in hostile multiplayer. Woo, okay. Okay, so this says, that prevented a critical hit from behind. So I'm assuming this just made backstabs a little bit easier to do. So that is kind of nice. I'm hoping that's what it means, because backstabs are like near impossible to land, and I only ever land them when I'm like literally not trying to land them. So we'll see if backstabs are suddenly a little bit easier to actually land, and they're actually like a threat, especially for parrying, because you literally like cannot punish parrying in this game with a backstab, which is kind of stupid, because that was always a nice dichotomy. Is if you go for a parry, you risk getting backstabbed in something like 3 and also 2 and 1. Literally all the other Souls games. So that was super nice. That this might be nice for backstabs then. Fixed a bug that caused performance to slow down when the Sentry's torch weapon was equipped under certain circumstances. I haven't used the torch really, that torch, so I don't know. That's good they fixed that, because this game definitely needs performance. Still needs performance enhances and all that stuff. Improved stability of online multiplayer for PS4 and PS5, good for the PlayStation players. Improved loading times for the Xbox Series X and S versions, good for the Xbox players. I play on PC, if that wasn't inherently obvious. Fixed a bug that the master volume setting was not reflected in some cutscenes. Improved stability of online multiplayer. I've seen this sentence a million times, I feel like, and I think I've seen this in almost every... I don't know why they just won't tell us what they actually are doing here, but it's From Software, so you get what you get. I think we're lucky in the fact that we're getting like more Dark Souls 3 patch notes was like, oh, adjusted some weapons, and like you didn't know what weapons they adjusted, and you had to like figure it out. So we're lucky we're even getting like specific weapon adjustments, and some of those previous patch notes where they're actually telling us which weapons were being changed. But I don't know why they won't say anything about this. But improved stability of online multiplayer, don't know what that means. I hope that means they fixed the 2-minute disconnect bug for PC. Hope that means that they just enhance connection. I hope that means literally anything than nothing. Hopefully it means something. Fixed a bug that caused sounds to play differently than expected in some situations. Fixed a bug that caused the player to become inoperable and die in certain locations. Haven't run into that. Fixed a bug in which the drawing and hit detection were different. Oh, what is this? Fixed a bug in which the drawing and hit detection were different than expected in some maps. What does that mean? Does that mean they fixed like that like rendering issue, where like for some people with like certain PCs, if their like specs weren't like up to snuff, like enemies just like wouldn't render in, but they could still hit you? I hope that's what they mean, because my friend literally can't play the game because he has that problem, basically. But that'd be cool if they finally fixed that, but I don't know if that's what that means. Which drawing and hit detection? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Either way, it's some kind of optimization there, so that's cool. Fixed a bug in some maps that allowed the player to reach unexpected locations with certain procedures. That's nice, I guess. Fixed some texts. Cool. Several other performance improvements and bug fixes I will certainly see. As a PC player, I'll see how performance improved this is. I have a pretty beefy computer, just to point it out. I have like a 3060 and an i7, and I still like this game definitely, like, it's better than release, obviously, but this game still has quite a few performance optimizations it needs to go under. So hopefully this is, significant performance improvements, but I'm not holding my breath on that. Additions and modifications for PC version only. Added keyboard mouse operations that can be input and press any action on the title screen. Added return to desktop to the system item on the main menu for exiting the game. Nice. That's cool. Does that mean like from the menu you can actually you don't have to go back to the main menu, you can just go back to your desktop? Because that would be sick, because I hate having to like quit out to the main menu and then like just like close the game immediately, and like that's so annoying that that's not a thing. Change so that mouse click input is not reflected when switching windows to active. Don't know what that means. Obviously maybe something to do with like alt tabbing. Fixed a bug that slowed performance when changing screen mode and resolution in a special procedure. Interesting. The version number, I wonder if actually I've run into this for whatever reason, because I've changed my resolution a couple of times when playing this game. But who knows? Maybe I haven't. I feel like I probably haven't. The version number of this update shows at the lower right-hand corner screen. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, app version 1.05, regulation version 1.0.5, or 1.05. All right, overall, this ended up being like a 30-minute video. I didn't expect it to be this long. This is so many bug fixes. They actually did a lot of bug fixes. I'm quite happy with this. There are most of this, like 99% of this is good. The only thing that's not good, and I've said this, is the fact that they made it so Ice Spear is now guardable again. Because that was a cool feature of Ice Spear, in my opinion, and a solid counter to shields. So they better have a nerf for guard shields in the future. Hopefully in the next patch. That would be super nice. Otherwise, though, I mean, this patch is good. I'm always down for more bug fixes. There's lots of bugs in this game that need to be fixed. And in my opinion, game-breaking bugs over game balance 100%. Because the game-breaking bugs are adding to the absolute insane balance of the game. The fact that people were, are able to like apply insane amounts of bleed with a crossbow and all that shit, like that's stuff that needs to get fixed, because that inherently is affecting the rest of the balance of the game in an unfair way. You know what I mean? So that's cool that they're fixing stuff like that. Still, though, no Bloodhound Step nerf. Please, for the love of God, nerf that thing. Like, even if it's not going to be something big, like, at the very least, like, change the iframe, like, nerf the iframes down to, like, half. Like, at the very least you could do is make it so the iframes are halved on that thing, because it's got the distance already. It's got that dash distance. But obviously, I'd like even more to be done with it. I'd like it to be tweaked to a significant margin. Rivers of Blood, I don't even think Rivers of Blood really needs to get nerfed all that much. I just think the bleed... I feel like the bleed application from the weapon art could get nerfed a little bit, or maybe lower how fast you actually do the skill. Like each subsequent slash, they could like slow down every slash to make it a little less like spam heavy or whatever. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm like, I think this shit should get nerfed. Why haven't they nerfed it? Let me think. Oh, I mean like specific weapon, like double running attack spears are still annoying. They could like lower the speed of that. The crouch poke on ultras is still annoying. Again, they could lower the speed on how fast you do that attack. Like there's definitely stuff that like hasn't been nerfed yet. Really, I think the biggest thing I'm holding or looking for here is just Bloodhound Step. Like they could have a whole patch that was just like Bloodhound Step has been nerfed, and I would be happy. Like, I don't care what the rest of the patch is. Like, this fucking, like, call it 1.06, boom, Bloodhound Step has been nerfed. I'd be happy for the rest of my life. But it's unfortunate that didn't get a change here. They didn't really change any weapons or balance directly, but they did make certain things better by fixing bugs that were associated with them. So yeah, overall, not as good as the last patch, I'd say. I'm happy with the bug fixes, but I mean, last patch was more balance heavy. So hopefully next patch, both A, we don't have to wait as long for it, and B, is more balance heavy, because we did have to wait a while for this patch. I mean, it's been like 2 months or some shit like that, like a month and a half. And, obviously people are having, negative opinions about the PvP. I'm still loving the PvP in this game. I'm still having lots of fun. I'm just taking it as it is, and I'm here for all the changes that they're hopefully going to do. I'm positive. I'm optimistic. So we'll see what the next patch brings, but there was some nice bug fixes. Like I said, I keep saying that in this patch. I'm definitely interested if they fixed like quick casting, and still interested on what the fuck had emphasis to the choice of Sacred Flask in this, what the hell that means. But anyways, this is my little patch review, a little analysis. So overall, decent patch. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe. If you did, it helps support my channel and encourages me to make more content. Tell me what you thought of the patch notes. And I'll see you in the next one.